Well, good afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Michael Wilhite here with Southern Indiana Weather. I want to bring you a quick forecast update. We got some storms out on the radar around the area. If you're traveling out here in Illinois or you're living out there and watching this video, there are some storms out for you. For us in Indiana, nothing really much going on here. These are kind of pushing to the east, northeast, and so there's a possibility if they hold together that they could make it into Indiana, but that's a pretty slim possibility. They're kind of dying down over the past few radar scans. Kind of think that we're not going to see much of anything out of these. Otherwise, it's just all clear for us on future radar here. On regular radar, rather. Let me show you future radar to give you an idea what's going on. There's those storms over southern Illinois, and watch over the coming hours. It just sort of dwindles them. So really not much of a worry about what's going to come on outdoors. For us tonight here in southern Indiana, you notice there's some storms firing up as we head into the late evening, overnight hours here of in southern Illinois. Those start to push our way later this evening, and there's a chance that we could see a few remnant storms or remnant showers here, possibly if they've died down enough overnight, but it'll be spotty in nature, nothing too big going on. Now let me switch to another radar and just give you an idea of what's going on. As you wake up tomorrow morning, here's what the high-res NAM, it's a longer radar, longer view here. The other one was only out to 15 hours. So some spotty storms around the area tomorrow, and then it looks dry most of the day. As storms start to build, though, again, later in the afternoon, they'll be pretty spotty. Some of them could be on the heavy side, again, with some heavy downpours there. And then as we head into Tuesday, overnight, we got some more Monday night, and then into Tuesday, we've got some more storms possible there as well. So some spotty showers and thunderstorms there, bottom line here for the next couple of days, Monday and Tuesday. After that, that's when the dry weather is going to sort of take over, if you will. And so let's just sort of talk about that. Let's look again. If you watched my latest long-range video a few days ago, you notice I talked about remember I talked about the heat wave that's going to be coming. Basically what you have is this huge dome of high pressure here. This huge ridge of high pressure is going to take over the central part of the country. That's going to make it ridiculously hot out here, but it's going to be pretty hot out here for us as well. GFS model keeps wavering as far as for how long this stays in, but the GFS model currently pretty much keeps this really about as far as the eye can see. As we get even later into the month, this is out to the 31st, and it's already there. And it's not until August 1st or 2nd before this is starting to break down. I think that's probably a little over exaggerated. The Euro has a little bit of a different idea. Here's what the Euro is saying here. There's the heat wave. Well, actually, let me just back this up here. This is buttons are not working right here. There we go. All right, so here's that big dome of high pressure heating up here, and but watch what happens as we get later into the forecast period. It just backs off, and so here we are. We're on up to about Thursday. It's going to get hot Thursday and Friday this week. Get that heat dome there, but then by the time the weekend comes, it's starting to retreat back out west, and you notice that we're coming back into a northwest flow. Much different. This is retreating that ridge out to our west, and it's getting squashed by another trough. This is by the 25th, but if we go back here to what the GFS is saying on the 25th, very stark difference. We've still got we've got a ridge out to our west, but it's still extending far out into here. So much different look for it on the Euro model. I have a feeling, just a gut feeling, that the Euro is probably going to be closer to being right. It may be that neither of these models are perfectly right, and that's probably the honest to goodness truth, but I have a feeling the Euro model is getting the idea usually out this far in advance. It holds it a lot better. So I do have a feeling with what we see coming down the pipes out off to our west, out in the ocean and things, other ridges and troughs that are going to be waves over the jet stream. I do think this is going to be squashed eventually. I don't think this is going to be a long duration heat wave. That said, there's going to be some heat that comes out with it. If we take a look at what the temperatures are showing for us, we're going to hit some extremely hot temperatures this week. In fact, looky here. This is during the heart of the heat wave next Saturday. And you can see this brings us up to 100 degrees, triple degree weather there in Louisville area here. 93, Evansville 90 as far north here as Bloomington. So is that true? Do we see 100 degrees in parts of the area? I'm not convinced of that yet. You have to have extremely dry air usually to get us that hot. And our air is not going to be dry. Our air is going to be pretty humid. The other bad thing about this week is it's going to be hot with temperatures in the mid to upper 90s on portions of the week, but the dew points are going to be in the 70s, so it's going to be just absolutely miserable with those dew points out there this week. And so that that really does mean that we're probably going to have a hard time hitting triple digits out of this, would be my best guess. But 95 to 98, certainly not out of the question as we get into the heart of the heat wave a little bit later in the week. As you go later into the heat wave, that's what you're going to see. Just looking at the modeling here as you come into, well, let's just back it up here to Thursday. You can see that's got the 90s around the area here too. Friday we got upper 90s around the area, and then Saturday that's when it wants to hit us at 100, and then Sunday we're a little bit better off, but not that much. It still brings us to the upper 90s as well. But again, this is the GFS, not the Euro. The Euro has some different ideas on that. So here's the way I've worked on things to shake it out for right now. You can go to southernindianaweather.com, click on 10-day forecast. Get this. There's those spotty shower and thunderstorm chances tomorrow. Low 90s for your high. Then you go progressively up as you go through. My highest forecast I've got this coming weekend, 97, 96 degrees. Do think that's certainly doable this weekend in the heart of that heat wave, but it gets a little bit better, and I think by the time you start to see that next week, that's when you're starting to go down into the lower 90s. I don't have storms written in here on Monday and Tuesday yet. I've just got mostly sunny skies. It's going to depend on when that ridge starts to break down. If you believe the GFS, it doesn't break down at all for the rest of the month. If you believe the Euro, it breaks down here about Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, sometime in this time frame. I went ahead and put some storms into the forecast for Wednesday. I do think that we're going to see that ridge break down, but I have a feeling we're probably going to have some storms in the forecast on that Monday and Tuesday as well. I think the ridge is probably going to break down a little bit more fast here than what I've got in this 10-day, but we'll adjust that as the time comes. Bottom line is we got a string of very dry and hot weather coming for us. It's just going to be very muggy weather. If we get any storms at all, it's just going to be a pop-up garden variety thunderstorm. No real disturbances moving through. Again, it'll be later in the period, though, once that ridge starts to break down. That's probably going to be after next weekend, that Sunday, Monday, or beyond, before we start to see that. But that's the way things stand right now, so just prepare for a very hot and miserable week coming up. That's it for this update, folks. I'm meteorologist Michael Wilhite for SouthernIndianaWeather.com. Have a great day, folks, and we'll see you for the next video.